The Rendezvous Part 1. I couldn't wait to round up the work on my table. It was the weekend, and weekends were more than fun days to me. Elegante, the new nightclub in town, would be hosting me. What better way to get rid of the pain of heartbreak and loneliness? The loud music, the booze, and the ladies. Most especially the ladies. I smiled as my eyes ran through the last line of code. I hit the enter button and watched the code run. Phew, finally. Time to close, go home, take a shower, and hit my rendezvous for the night. If only I'd known what was waiting for me inside the bright-colored disco lights of the nightclub. Maybe, just maybe, I would have stayed home to a quiet dinner. The drive home was uneventful. Everyone drove like it wasn't the weekend. Or did they? Maybe it was me. Maybe I was in such an excited state that I barely observed traffic and nearly crashed twice. When I opened the door to my apartment through the garage, I sighed. I could still smell her. The interior decoration of my apartment had been done by her, the painting too. The empty space beside my photo frame had held a frame of her smiling portrait. I sighed again and headed upstairs to shower and change for the evening. The sun slowly sank into the horizon as I made my way to the nearest restaurant to eat. As I waited for my food, the television showed news of the ongoing trade war between America and China. I shifted in my seat to turn my back to the television. I felt way better not watching the uncertainty caused by the actions of powerful men. My phone rang. It was Marvin. He sounded excited. His girlfriend would be coming to the club with her friend. She'd agreed to hook us up. I smiled from ear to ear as I ended the call. What a perfect way to begin my evening. The crowd outside the club was bubbly as usual. The bouncers looked mean. They didn't smile as they checked ID cards. I breezed past them, feeling fly and funky. Got a fist bump from the one nearest to me. He opened the door, and the muffled sound of music poured out loudly all over me. I took a deep breath and walked into the dancing lights and swinging bodies. My favorite spot already had Marvin and his girlfriend. Beside her was a beautiful, dark-skinned lady. She was curved in all the right places. A smile was plastered on her face as she swung in rhythm to the music playing. It was like my world paused and everything became quiet. I could only see her, and I wanted it to be just her and me. I felt a strong pull, a force drawing me to her. It was almost as if I was already in love, but it was too sudden. "Hey, Eddie!" Marvin called out, jolting me from my momentary reverie. The noise in the club came back, along with everyone else who was pumping their fists to Kanye West's Monster, blasting out of the speakers. I looked at Marvin. He waved at me. I waved back as I made my way to them. For once, I didn't look at any of the girls rubbing their bodies against mine. I just wanted the mystery lady standing beside Marvin's girlfriend. "I didn't know you would get here before I did," I said as I fist-bumped Marvin, hugged his girl Clara, and shook her friend's hand. "Came here earlier so she could see you walk in," Marvin said with a smile. I smiled in return. I nodded towards the only person I hadn't met before. "Oh, meet my friend Jennifer. Jennifer, this is Eddie," Clara introduced us. And just like that, she swapped places and was closer to me. The smell of her perfume slowly enveloped me. It was the sweetest I had smelled in a long time. I could feel my heart beginning to race. "You smell nice," I complimented her. "Thank you. I love the smell of your cologne," she responded in a sultry voice. I didn't know if she meant it or not, but it made me feel better about myself. "Want to dance?" I asked her. "Easy there," she responded, looking at me while batting her eyelids. "Let's have a drink or two." I smiled. The night was still young, and the party was just getting started. Our table was empty, too. I looked around to see if any of the servers were nearby. Marvin motioned to me to let me know our drinks were arriving soon. "So, what do you do?" I heard her voice again. "I'm a consultant. I work with shipping companies. helping them streamline logistics and cut down delivery time, I replied. Oh, sounds interesting. Do you travel on any of the ships that belong to the shipping company you consult for? She asked, curiosity creeping into her voice. I hope to do that someday, but for now, I enjoy the solid nature of the ground I walk on, I replied. This made her laugh, and as she did, she leaned towards me, gently brushing off something from my shirt. For a moment, I thought she would find my lips. I very nearly closed my eyes. The drinks are here, Marvin called out. This brought me back to reality again. I didn't even know I was lost in the first place. I looked at the table. Tequila. The salt and lime were served in a separate dish. We all grabbed a shot. To an unforgettable experience, Jennifer called out as she raised her glass above her head. I followed suit. Down the first shot went. I watched her reach for the salt and lime. I watched her take a bite, close her eyes as the sourness hit, and then lick her tongue over her lips. I swallowed hard. I could feel the liquor traveling down my guts and warming me up. To a night we all live to remember, Martin called out as he lifted the second glass of his shot up. I raised mine too, together with the others. To a night whose story we will remember every other night, Clara toasted. She didn't raise the shot glass up. Instead, she clinked Marvin's, mine, and Jennifer's. After the fourth shot, my legs moved according to the rhythm of the music playing. I pulled Jennifer into my arms and led her to the dance floor. As the music jammed, we moved our bodies to the beat. She grinded her wide hips against my crotch, causing sensations to shoot through my body. It was a moment I wished would last a long time, longer than the song that played. I was having the moment of my life. Soon, the DJ switched to a slower song, and as if on cue, she pulled my head close and planted a wet kiss on my lips. As our tongues groped each other, I felt the hairs on my body rise. Something pulled me deeply into her, and every other person didn't matter anymore. It was like crawling into a dark hole. Little by little, the air around me began to disappear. Something was choking me from the inside. I felt like I was drowning. I didn't like the feeling, but I was too weak to struggle. I was dying and couldn't even fight it. The sound of air flooding into my lungs startled me. I hadn't even noticed I was gasping. I breathed deeply as soon as Jennifer broke the kiss. I gasped into her smiling face and deep, dark eyes. Wow, that was intense, I said as I caught my breath. I would like to show you more of that, Jennifer pulled my head and said into my ears. I looked at her smiling face and deep, dark eyes. My heart missed a beat. It was soulless. Maybe it was the tequila. Maybe it was the kiss. But something didn't feel right. I looked towards where we had stood up. It was empty. Marvin wasn't there with his girlfriend. I turned around and scanned the dance floor. There was no sign of them dancing. Why didn't Marvin draw my attention? When did he leave? Did he go outside for some fresh air? I asked myself, momentarily forgetting the lady in front of me. It was her hand on my crotch area that brought me back. The smile was still plastered on her face. Looking for someone? She asked, batting her eyelids, her deep, dark, soulless eyes. Where's Marvin and your friend? I asked. My legs had slowly stopped moving to the music. They must have gone out through the back for some fresh air, she responded, her voice still sultry. Do you want us to go find them? She added. Even though it was unlike Marvin, I allowed her to hold my hand and lead me to the back door. As we pushed it open and headed into the night outside, I felt relief wash over me. I took a long, deep breath, closing my eyes as it filled up my lungs. When I opened them, I was alone. No Jennifer, no alley, no club. Only the road that led to my place. To be continued.